All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Sean with BlueRidgeSilverhound. I want to thank you guys for tuning in this video. We are going to product review in this one, and today we have a sample of the ANDONSTAR AD207S digital microscope that we're going to test out in this video today. This was actually sent by the company. They want us to do a full kind of open box experience. We go ahead and open this puppy up. We go ahead and put it together, kind of test out how this thing goes together. Apparently it's like really easy, comes with instructions. I haven't put it together yet, so this is going to be kind of like a blind kind of review of putting the item together. But most importantly, with any digital microscope, okay, we've seen models that fall short in a few different things. And I hear that the ANDONSTAR remedies a lot of that. All right, so we're going to go ahead and test out some of the coins. One of the biggest questions with a digital microscope is, can it take a full picture of much larger coins, things like half dollars, dollar coins like Morgans and piece dollars? We're going to go ahead and try this out. Okay, another kind of pain point with a lot of folks with any digital microscope has to be the lighting system. How does the lighting system compare in this model to any other of the models that you see in the marketplace? And finally, I'm going to give my assessment on this, my final review, and then I'll leave it up to you guys to decide if you wanted to buy it. I will have the links down below in the description box and nothing else for you guys to consider this one. I think based off of what I've seen on not only Amazon's website, which is going to be your best bet for purchasing this microscope, but they also have these models on their website as well. You're going to find that they are like right in the middle. They're like one of the most competitive models out there. And believe it or not, this microscope does a lot. So let's go ahead and check it out. All right, let's go ahead and crack her open and let's see what we got here. So there's the full box. It's right good sized. And from what I've noticed, just opening the box once to take a look at the contents, keeping in mind that I haven't taken anything out of the plastic, is that this is a right good size unit. So you want to consider your workspace. You want to make sure that however kind of application you're going to be using, all right, this thing is probably going to take up quite a bit of room on a standard work desk. There is our instructions. We'll be referring to this. And here is the components that we will be putting together here. So we have our cords that plug right into the unit, along with a little device here. I believe this is to increase the intensity or decrease it of the lighting. All right, so which is pretty nice. We'll confirm that here momentarily. More cords. This is of course an HDMI plug. All right, so we can plug this into a laptop or a desktop and use it as a video device. Add it to your OBS studio, take pictures, put them online. For folks that do a lot of like selling online, this is going to make it very easy to do that. But also the unit comes with a port for a little mini micro SD card as well. I'll show you where that is at. There's one of the cylinders, I believe, for the base. More cords. This one looks like it could be a power cord of some sort, so we'll just need a wall block there for that one. All right, and this looks to be the actual monitor part of the whole thing here. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. What I'll do is let me go ahead and put this box aside. It takes up a lot of real estate here. But I want to thank you guys for tuning in and checking this out with me. So it's got this protective little cover here. We're going to go ahead and peel that off after we get the whole unit assembled. But I'll let you guys know what these functionalities here at the bottom is. Of course, that's the power button, and on the back right here as well, you have your HDMI, you have a micro SD slot, And then you have a USB-C slot as well for the power. All right, let's see what else we got here. Remote, pretty nice. Okay, I did see that this one has a remote. And if you guys are familiar with anything where you have to set a tripod on the ground, on a table to take pictures, and you have to press a button on your actual camera device, you know you get a little bit of shake, which can ultimately lead to less than stellar quality of photos. This one has a remote. We could, I guess the red button right there is to take the picture from a remote distance, so that way we don't get the shake. So we'll take a look at that as well. There's another bracket piece. Quite a few components, so I do notice that. And here's another one right here. This particular bracket affixes, well, you have another piece here, and then this is actually to set the distance of the microscope, so that way you could get in a little bit closer or further from your object. We do have a Phillips head screwdriver. Nothing too spectacular there. And then finally we have the base. As I go ahead and pull this out here, and it also has the lighting units. So let's go ahead and take a look at the lighting. And it's a single LED with, it looks like a diffuser type of glass piece on there. It looks like you could detach this. Maybe, yeah, it looks like you can. Maybe not. I don't know. But let's see how this is going to work for lighting up the items that we're going to have on here. Sorry about that. Because, you know, usually my big gripe and criticism with LEDs without a diffuser is that you get a lot of glare because the light is directional. So it's going to be pretty intense, especially on like coins and things like that. So there is our wall block right there, just a standard, you know, USB wall block. And then we have a few more little bits of hardware along with a Allen wrench all in there. All right, so we're going to, yeah, this is not a professional production, by the way. My backdrop just kind of fell all over the place. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the instructions here. All right, that's where we're at, and you're going to see that the first page gives you all of the specs. All right, so all of the different video resolution data. It produces MP4 video format type stuff, which is fantastic. That's perfect for like YouTube and any other application. Minimum focus distance is 2 centimeters. This one cranks out JPEG files for the file format. You have a micro SD card slot, up to 64 gigs, HDMI output, Windows PC software with measurement gift. And it says gift right there. I believe you could pick that up on their website, ANDONSTARmicroscope.com. We'll take a look at their website here toward the end, and other, you know, miscellaneous type of items on there. So, all right, so that's all the items right there. We are going to put this thing together. Okay, so hopefully it's not going to be too bad. And yeah, this is going to be, you know, just a virgin build right here. Pretty basic, I guess, type of hardware knowledge is necessary, obviously, because if you don't have it, well, I just don't know what to say. But so I took the cylinder that was in a bag, and then this base right here, and this connects together like so. So we'll start there. All right, so pretty nice, industrial looking. So I'm gonna put this down. This is the next piece that we need. This is actually the base of this tower right here that's gonna attach to this base plate. So we're gonna go ahead and take that out there. I mean, I suppose I could actually just show you the finished, completed, put together part of this whole thing, but you know. Oh, There you go. So it's a little bit, if you could see, it's a little cattywampus. So that's why there's an adjustment knob right here. So you're going to back out a little bit so that way it's perfectly oriented as such. So that way, you know, it's going to affix right there onto the base. Let's go ahead and extend these lighting arms out a little bit. So from what I could see, there was a little bit of a recoil on these, so that might be a problem, but we'll see how that figures out when we go to play around with the lighting and all that stuff on our subject photography pieces that we're going to use. I have a few coins and varieties that we're going to test out. So we have our little bag of hardware that we're going to put together. It looks like a lot of it is either Phillips head or Allen wrench, all of which is supplied in this kit, which is quite nice. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. Most folks who are just starting maybe doesn't have a Allen wrench. All right, so that's something to keep in mind. So there's these two holes that are a little bit closer together. That's right underneath the lighting the brackets or stands. So this is going to fix as such. And we're going to use these smaller, shorter Allen wrench head screws as supplied. I'll let you guys know how it goes here in a second. All right, so I got one screw in okay. And that was the Allen wrench I just dropped. So if you got big fat fingers, that could be something you'll have to contend with, like myself. Believe me, I'm trying to improve on my fat fingerness here a little bit. All right, so go ahead and adjust that camera just a shade. So I hope everyone's doing well. If you guys are in the market for a microscope, this is a good one to watch. I have a couple microscopes myself. I've been using my good old Celestron for a number of years, but I am looking for an upgrade. Especially one with a monitor. The one that I have currently does not. So that's what that looks like. Pretty easy. So it's the two Allen wrench screw heads, okay, screws that affix it right here. Now, see, the holes are right close to this piece right here. So if you have bigger fingers, you know, it might be a little bit of an issue trying to get that in there, but that's not really a deal breaker in this. All right, so at this stage in the game, this is what it looks like. All right, so you do have a swivel kind of head right here. All right, so you could kind of loosen this bolt right here, this thing right here on the side, and you could swivel the actual entire arm right here for, you know, whatever kind of angle that you wanted to do. Whoops. So from the top, we can, using this particular loosening item here, you could adjust the height of the whole assembly. And based off of where that circular bracket is, that's where your microscope's gonna go. All right, so that's what that looks like. All right, so the lighting is cool, because you're able to attack the lighting from that particular position, side by side. And the actual bracket is going to be pointed down. So, you know, if you see the buttons on and stuff right here, it's going to be pointed down. And that's how it's going to be fixed on there. So there's a little bit of a look at the optics, along with the little LEDs that you see inside. What's cool is I don't know if you guys see it. See that little translucent ring inside of there? That's going to help diffuse the light. And that's, again, one of the big issues that I've seen with some microscopes is they don't have the diffuser kind of ring or something like that to diffuse these light emitting diodes to where you're going to eliminate a lot of that glare. And we want to try and eliminate as much glare as possible. All right, so yeah, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the buttons right here. So we have a power button, we have a mode menu button right here. The third button over is going to be the up digital zoom in. This one right here is going to be the, was that number 4, down digital zoom out. All right, zoom in, zoom out. This one where it says okay, start video record. That's if you're going to do something for like YouTube or whatever, you know, that'd be pretty handy to do. But keep in mind when you press on the actual unit, you're going to get a little bit of shake at the beginning. And then finally we have picture capture. Okay, so again, if you're not using the remote, all right, you would click this right there. Again, you get a little bit of the shake of the device like you normally would with most. And that'll probably give you a little bit more out of focus picture. So this is kind of like another pain point that people have had with these digital scopes, is that particular feature right there. Let's see, on the back, what we have here is the micro SD slot. This is the USB port and then HDMI on the end right there. All right. So pretty simple. There is an adjustment wheel right here for the built-in LEDs, so you could intensify the lighting or bring it down a little bit so it's not as in your face. But that's how that works. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and let's see, attach this to up here. You can see a couple of the little screws we have to loosen to make this work. And then I'll show you what the, and the screw ends have a little bit of plastic on them so they won't damage your unit. So, and the unit slides all the way down in there, so that way you could still use the adjuster right up here to, you know, bring the lighting down a little bit. Let me go ahead and bring this unit down. You want to make sure you hold with 2 hands or else this thing's going to come crashing down. All right, so that's where we're at. You know, anyone who is pretty good at putting these things together, this will take less than 5 minutes. I've found that the assembly aspect of this unit is really good. Now, we also have the pieces that we could attach to the base. So if we're using for like slides and things like that, you could also do that as well. I think I'm just going to leave those off so that way we could just go ahead and check out some pictures of coins. The actual remote, let's go ahead and open her up. I can tell you guys a little bit about what we have here. Yeah, the red button is the capture. All right, so you could press this from remote, or, you know, not touching your desk so that way, you know, you don't get the shake. You have a menu button. This one right here, the snowflake, is the frozen button. You have mode, and you have zoom up and zoom out. You also have brightness down, brightness up, so that's pretty self-explanatory. This button right here is the the OK button is to start recording video, so you could do that remotely too as well. So that way you don't have to press anything on here to start a video. You could use the remote as well by hitting OK. Let's see what we got here. This little button right here, this is the 50, 60 hertz button. You also have a cross line right here, and then you have sharpness up, sharpness down buttons right here, and you also have a lock unlock file button, which is the little padlock looking symbols. You also have the contrast up and down keys here as well. This NTL is, what is this? It does not say. It does not say on the booklet. Contrast up. It could be, well, that's the default set. And you also have inverse and black and white, which are these two right here. And then this bottom button is for image rotate. So you could rotate the image on the screen right up here by pressing that button on the bottom. But I don't know what NTL and PAL is. And I don't see anything on the in the booklet to indicate what that is. So that's not in there, but I'm sure you guys can play around with it to find out what that is. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and power her up. Let me go ahead and grab the of course, we're going to use this cable right here with the 90-degree right angle kind of attachment USB-C cord, and then the full USB. Overall, the length of the cord is not very long at all. I would say it's probably a good, it's like 3.5 feet. I mean, it's short. It's a short cord, so you want to make sure that wherever you have your power outlet supply for this, it's going to be suitable. All right. So again, this is going to be attached, plugged in on the back right here. So we can do this with one hand, I hope. And we sure do. All right, there you go. All right, let me go ahead and plug this in. Let's see if I could reach, because I have a power strip here. And there we go. All right, we have power. All right, I see this thing coming on already. Let me go ahead and move aside all of the little bits and pieces and other screws for the little clip for the base. That's where you're gonna, again, hold your slide in place. You know, if you're into that sort of thing and all that, you can do that. And again, you also have the Phillips head screwdriver that's going to be used on there. All right, I'm going to have to fix my tripod here a little bit. So we're going to go ahead and peel off the this right here, like so. Okay, and then we have a nice this is like 7 inches. 7-inch display is what's on there. Pretty nice looking display, not too bad. Yeah, nice, decently heavy type base as well. So now it looks like there is no way to turn on the light arms without. I don't know. Let's see. Power button. Okay, so that's the focus wheel over here, by the way, in case you guys were wondering. I mistakenly referred to it as the lighting. All right, well, I think I might need this. But looking at this, just using a regular desk lamp and illuminating the coin as it is, you know, you can see my fingernail right there. This is actually one of my larger Netherland coins. So this is, you know, pretty close to the size of a, what am I trying to say? It's pretty close to a size of a Morgan dollar. All right. It's not quite a Morgan dollar, but it's pretty close. So the lighting, all right, this is the lighting to turn it on and to, you know, kind of change out the intensity and bringing it down is on a remote. However, when you look at it, it's attached to a USB along with another one of these USB-Cs, which connect somewhere on the device, and then also one of these as well. So yeah, it's kind of a little bit of a mystery. There's a lot of stuff attached to this particular device, you know, just as a switch, which I find kind of odd. Let me see if I missed anything in the... But starting out, I mean, the picture quality is actually quite nice. This coin right here has been cleaned at one point. So, you know, that's kind of like what we have right now. You can see a little bit of the reflection. And again, this is just using normal kind of like ambient light from the ceiling, from my desk lamp. Like I could turn this around a little bit and it would get a lot darker. But with the light up high and then down, you can see what we have right here. Oh, okay. I see. All right. So here's the one unfortunate thing about this is that because we have a secondary power need, we're going to need another wall block. So let me go ahead and grab another one of those. All right, so I grabbed one of my wife's wall blocks. So we have yet another thing to plug in just for doing the lighting. This actual thinner input right here goes behind. So let me go ahead and show you where that's at. So it's on the back of the unit. You remember that square kind of piece here at the base? That's where that plugs in, like so. So that way it'll, you know, that's actually the texture of the base that you see there. All right, we should be good to go. Let me go ahead and plug this thing in. There we go, we have light. Let's see how long that lasts. So we do have light. For the these two right here. So that's the lighting for the two auxiliary pieces right here, and you would have to somehow, some way, connect this so that way you get light coming out of the actual scope piece of it, which I'm also stumped as well on where to find that. It might be, I don't know. I don't see it on the back of the unit. Yeah, I don't see it. It's almost like as if you have to disconnect the main power for the screen in order to connect up power for that thingamajig there. So that's off. We're actually using the buttons here for that. So there, and then we could go ahead and mute the light down a little bit, which is a nice touch. And we can intensify it. There's gonna be a lot of chords. So keep in mind that when you set this up, make sure that you have everything all squared up. So that way you have a nice clean workspace. So that's the lighting right there. Let's go ahead and try out a coin with the lighting, with the two lights that we have. Of course, again, it looks like you have to, yeah, you're gonna have to break these arms in a little bit because they got a little recoil to them. So like you did see there a second ago. And then there's the picture, all right? So if we turned it off, like so, that's natural light or just a little bit of auxiliary light, maybe bouncing off the wall. We turn it on, okay? So it's a little bit lighter. If we muted it down a little bit, you can see the difference. You could pick up a little bit more of like the toning a little bit better. It's not as washed out. If we went a little bit brighter, that's really going to wash this thing out, and that's as bright as it gets right there. All right, so if we go down more, that's the dimmest it can get. So that's the lighting piece of it. Again, you know, you could connect that micro USB piece to the top, and then connect the actual, not using this monitor, but using your PC and connecting the HDMI to that to feed the power from the device and the pictures and whatnot to the computer. And then you could use this, which I'd say that's really the only one singular type of negative right now that I see with that. And again, you do have the HDMI cables. All right, so one of the big tests is, can we capture an entire image of this coin because it's right good sized? So I'm going to reach around the back here. We're going to bring the entire unit up, okay, until we could get the whole coin in the picture. All right. So that's what I see right now. And it's a little bit out of focus. So if we focus it, there you go. So we are zoomed all the way out. See how it shakes? It shakes pretty good. But, you know, the way the base is, you know, you'll have to micro adjust it. Plus I have the cord stretched all the way down because the cord isn't long enough. It needs to be at least about another foot or two. I'd feel more confident that, you know, that work out better. So I'm zoomed in more, and if I zoom all the way out, I think we're maxed out there. There you go. And that's again for the file, which is the mode menu. All right, that's the mode menu button. Yeah, I have this thing extended. Well, no, I take that back. I don't have it extended all the way up, and that's because that cord is pretty tight. All right, so man, we are awfully close. We are awfully close. Okay, so I'm going to show you what I see here in a moment. It's awfully close. So that's what I see. That looks like pretty much the whole coin. Now, let's go ahead and try a Morgan dollar. And then we'll try out a few kind of like BU copper red type colored coins as well. We'll do it with light and without lighting. So here's going to be our host coin for the Morgan ET90. And as you can see, same size, same diameter and everything like that. So we shouldn't have too big of an issue here capturing the whole entire coin image. Just barely too. So it gets the entire coin in there. Looks like I'll have to bring down the lighting intensity a little bit. So that way we could pick up a little bit of the toning, which you can see a little bit of like the gold toning on the periphery of the coin. If we turn it off completely, it'll look like that. I think it looks better without it because it does pick up a little bit more of the luster. Okay, and again, that's more of a preference, and you could always certainly play around with it. The lighting takes a moment to adjust, and again, I have to go darker, lighter. There you go. So that's what that looks like. Go ahead and turn off the light. So it does pass the test of capturing an entire Morgan dollar. which is nice. That's always a good thing. Okay, here's a Lincoln scent. A nice red gemmy Lincoln right there. Okay, so that's what that looks like. We can adjust it so that way we can get a little bit closer. 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 Adjust the focus right here. Pretty nice unit. I so far I'm impressed with it. Let's try it with a little bit of light. There we go. So that's what it looks like with light. If I muted it down, that's as muted as it gets. Brighter. And again, I could fool around with the contrast using that remote, so that way I get more brilliance from the coin. It doesn't look completely washed out. Again, that's with it off, on. All right. There you go. All right. And then the final thing I wanted to test out was a variety, something that's so insanely small that it's easy to miss, things like that. So let's find ourselves a nice variety here that we could play around with, or a couple of them for that matter, right? I have a really nice 2019 Lincoln Shield Scent DDO that we'll take a look at here. Let's go ahead and also take a look, if I can find it, we're going to take a look at a Repunch Mint Mark as well. Yes, no, maybe, possibly. All right, let's go ahead and take, so we're going to actually keep the coin in the 2x2 holder, and let's see what that looks like. All right, so here we are, and you could actually see the, yeah, the lights are on a little bit. I don't know if you could see the light on my hand. But you guys see right there the reflection of the LEDs? That I don't like. I'm not a particular fan of that. So if we turn it off, that still is on. So you would have to disconnect that piece altogether so that way it's not on, I believe. Or it stays on. I'm not sure. If we go into menu here, no file. Okay. What does this do? Oh, there you go. That's the, oh, and that turns it off. That little wheel right there, right underneath the infrared sensor, will turn it off altogether. That's good to know. See, we find out stuff all the time. I'm sure the representative would have reached out to me and said, hey, you know, there is an adjustment wheel for that on there. So we did do that. All right, let's go ahead and get in close. Let's see how good this thing looks up close. You could probably already see it. Okay, we got it down, I think, as far as we could get on this unit. So we're at 2 times, 2x, 3x, and then that's it right there. Okay. That's with the lighting. Let me go ahead and sharpen this up a little bit. So if I turned off the regular desk lamp, that's what that looks like. Turn it back on. Maybe if I turn this off, turn this on. There you go. That looks pretty good. I actually like that. Well, we haven't maxed out all the way as far as the closeness on this right here. So that's as close up as you could get on the device. There you go. Nice DDO right there. Let's try another one. And we'll also try out a variety in a PCGS graded slab as well for you guys to take a look at. Yeah, that's definitely something I don't want to look at. I don't want to look at BIE die chip. BIE, lots of BIEs here, guys. Man. Oh, Blue, you come ill prepared, my man. Ill prepared. I know, right? Let's see. So that is with minimal lighting. If we intensify it a little bit, it doesn't really get any better. Turn it off completely. It's really dark. Turn on the desk lamp. And you can see the RPM. Actually, believe it or not, you can see the RPM. This is a D over D north. So you guys can see it. Right there. See that extra D, that's north of the primary. All right, well, I was hoping I could find one of my really nice 56 D over Ds over here. But I can't because I got so many of them. All right, so we'll skip that. But the final test that I wanted to do to see how well this works is to take a look at a coin in a graded slab with a variety on it. So we got PCGS coin right here. You guys can tell me what this one is, right? All right, so we are adjusted as close as we can get. Right there. Here's with some lighting. You could see the overdate, the large over small, or small over large, or whatever it is. Yeah, you can see that pretty well. We're trying to pick up the RPM on the mint mark, which is north, slightly northwest of the primary mint mark. Yeah, this is a dual variety coin right here. FS 101, small over large date. DDO. Funny it doesn't say anything about RPM on there, but that's what it is. So if we turned off this light and then we try and there you go, that's pretty good. Again, my big gripe are the light patterns on there from the LEDs, right? Which means there's not enough diffusion on there to remedy that. But you could see the small over large date very well right here. And the RPM, you could see the RPM right about here, which is north. Off. Dust lamp off. Turn this back on. So you could take this picture if you're going to sell something like this and then crop it around here so that way you don't get the LED pattern right there. I added just the regular arm lights, these things, in the mix. Brighter. You can actually see the RPM like really well right there. But you could see the small over large date just really, really good. Especially right there. You could see the split characteristics on the 0 of the date. But all in all, I think I am pretty impressed. I think the one modification that might be necessary on something like this might be that LED diffusion deal right there. Or because what you really don't want to do is buy a completely different lighting setup if this particular one doesn't work too great. It's got a lot of lighting options from the 2 arm lights and then the main lighting that's on the actual scope itself. Actually does an admirable job, I would say. And yes, you can take a photo of an entire Morgan dollar, which is awesome. I like that. But no coins above and beyond that size. So yeah, I would say I am impressed with this unit. I'd say that I would be happy. This is going to be by far a much better upgrade than my existing Celestron, which fails miserably in a few characteristics. The first one, lighting, PU, stinks. I have to use a completely different lighting setup, but also in addition, I don't have this nice of an LED or LCD, liquid crystal. This is an LCD display on here on my Celestron. I have a tiny little thing. But there are a few other features that you guys should play around with. Try it especially on your laptop or PC. I think this one will look really good in a video, kind of like if you have a picture-in-picture scenario on like OBS Studio. I think this thing will be dynamite. I think it'll look great taking pictures for eBay. Again, you're gonna have to play around with the lighting, you know, for the amount of time allotted to do the actual setup, because this is going to be kind of like, I want you guys to understand what you're getting yourself into when you go to buy this, because it's not the cheapest, it's not the most expensive, but it's a very, very good unit. And you know, it took at the most 10 minutes to assemble everything, that's it. You just need the basic amount of skills necessary to put this thing together, and you're good to go. All right. And then go ahead, connect the HDMI cable to your computer and try it out that way. I think it's going to look dynamite as well, especially if you're doing videos with it. But yeah, a really nice unit. I like it. I'd say, again, my only gripe is that the lighting isn't perfect. All right. And, you know, it's like they did everything they could. And it's not horrible. All right. But, you know, compare this to, say, with a $500-600 dyno light. I mean, you know, those have its issues still, but are kind of like top of the market. But this is a great compromise at an affordable price. These things are under $200, and they got a couple different models. But you want to make sure, I guess, the models, this one's the AD207S. I believe the models that end in an S have the ability to take full large pictures of coins like Morgan dollars like this. So you want to make sure you pick up a model that have S at the end of the model number. But yeah, go ahead, check down below if you guys are interested. I think I'm gonna end up buying one of these. I think I gotta return this one, but we'll see. I'm gonna end up buying myself a unit. This one's like a huge upgrade from what I've been using for 5 years, and I use it quite extensively. It's actually incentivized me to put up more eBay listings when I go and use a model like this, because I know there's a peace of mind factor involved when it comes to taking good quality photos, because you want your buyers to understand what you're selling. They want to know that they're getting exactly what you're selling, and so on and so forth. So yeah, I give this one a really good rating. I would say probably out of a rating of 10, I'd probably give this one about 9.5. Again, the lighting is not the end of the world. The pricing is on par, compared to other models in the marketplace. And, the ability to, really, just play around with the lighting and to focus, and it's easy. It's got the remote, for crying out loud, which is awesome. My Celestron does not have that. And I have a lot of, shake photos where, they're like a little out of focus, they're a little buzzy looking, and that'll remedy it. So that's pretty cool from a professional photography standpoint. The remote is really cool. So, and by the way, it looks like it takes two AAAs in there, which is pretty good. Awesome. But yeah, that's going to go ahead and wrap it up. I want to thank you guys again for tuning in. Again, this is the ANDONSTAR AD207S model. Go ahead and check out the Amazon store and the link to their website down below. If you guys are interested, it's a really cool unit. I give my full approval on it. Thank you guys. I know, long video, but you guys need to know all the features and functions of this before you go ahead and dole out your hard-earned money for it. And that's it. You guys take care. I'll see you guys on the next coin video. So long.